Good day everyone. I am Angela Ginoo and I'm going to present to all of you my MS Excel computation. So on April 5, Mr. Poral gave us a task pertaining to MS Excel. In the activity, we are assigned to create any MS Excel computation as long as it's connected to tourism industry. So as some of us know, Excel has always been a favorite tool amongst hotel managers. So one of the things it can be used for is to calculate the occupancy rate for the hotel. So first things first, let's define what is occupancy rate. So occupancy rate is the percentage of occupied rooms in your property at a given time. It is one of the most high-level indicators of success and is calculated by dividing the total number of rooms occupied by the total number of rooms available times 100, creating a percentage such as 75% occupancy. So in this video, I'll demonstrate an effective way to calculate the occupancy rate automatically using the Excel built-in formulas. So the process is fairly simple. Let's start with the Excel basics. So I'm going to share two basic must-know formulas, the sum and the average. So let's start with the sum function. So the sum function is super simple. It's used to sum all the values within the specified cells. So the format of the sum is syntax equals sum, open parenthesis, cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, and so on, then close parenthesis. So, while the average function, its format is syntax equals average, open parenthesis, cell 1, cell 2, cell 3, and so on, then close parenthesis. So the average function returns the average of the values in the specified cells. So that's all we need to work out our occupancy rate. So in here, in the right side of my screen, so this is my final computation. So for you to be able to know what are the things that I did in my MS Excel computation, I will demonstrate it step by step. Before anything else, I put label to my computation, to my MS Excel computation. So the things that I will get is the occupancy rate of the hotel. So here is the label. So in step 1, let's define the total number of available rooms. So here we'll need to start a new Excel document. So this is the new Excel document. So next is start by defining the total number of available rooms. So in my example, I put the total available rooms in column A 3. Here we can see it in the name box. So the value of the available rooms, or the total of the available rooms, will be seen in column B3, row B, column B, row 3. So the next thing to do is import your room data. So next, we will need to import the room data for your property for the period you are interested in. So in this, we may have this data in another Excel spreadsheet, accounting software, OTA data, export, a paper diary, etc. So how and where you store this is up to you. So ideally, I need to have the number of occupied rooms for each date in the period. So in my example, I have typed in the number of rooms occupied for each date in the last 12 days. So as you can see, there's a pattern. It is stated in here that I only need the last 12 days, so each date in the period of the last 12 days. So since typing it manually is time consuming, I found other ways to make it easier. So what I did is I drag this, and since it is said in last 12 days, so here, so that's what I've got. So next is in the rooms occupied, we'll encode it manually. So I already have the encoded ones in here. Yeah, here. So these are the rooms, number of rooms occupied in each date. So in the next step, let's calculate the occupancy rate for each date. So as what I've mentioned a while ago, the formula to calculate the occupancy rate is occupancy rate equals rooms occupied over total number of rooms times 100. So to express this in Excel, we can divide the total number of available rooms in B3 against each days in the spreadsheet. So for example, to calculate the first day's occupancy rate, we can do equals B6 divided by, with this formula, so B6, because we can see that 34 is located in column B, row 6, and divided by the total number of rooms, and we can locate the 40 in column B, row 3. So for us to be able to know what is the occupancy rate of this date, let's click enter. So in here, 85%. And the next step is autofill the remaining cells. So the remaining columns can be filled automatically. So let's simply select the first column together with all of the empty columns below it. Why is it in percentage already? Because in our number format, it is already in percentage form. And now we have the occupancy rate for every date automatically calculated as percentage. So the last step is to calculate the average occupancy rate for the period. So if you want to calculate the average occupancy rate for the entire period, the average function comes in handy. So the easiest way to use it is with the range operator. So it is syntax equals average, open parenthesis, start, colon, and close parenthesis. So in our example, we'll use equals average, open parenthesis, 85% is located in column C6, colon, C17, so the last is located in C, column C17. So C17, then close parenthesis. So enter. In our example, the occupancy rate for the period is 75.63%. So if you want to put a style in your spreadsheet, you can click Cell Styles, and you can see lots of colors or styles that you want to put in your spreadsheet. So in this presentation, I only used 12 days worth of data. So keep in mind that Excel can accept arbitrary amounts of data, and extending the template should be trivial. So simply repeat step 4 and step 5 for as long as required. So for my final thoughts, Microsoft Excel is insanely a powerful tool, and this post only scratches the surface of what I can do with it when it comes to calculating the occupancy rate. So I'd recommend playing around with the formulas above and seeing what you can come up with. So that's all. This is my presentation, and I hope you learned something. Thank you and God bless.